Good evening and welcome to this edition of Manifest Wisely. I'm going to be using the Grateful Dead Tarot deck. One of these days I'm going to properly link their website. So if you're interested in this deck, I rather like it quite a lot. Oh, wow, how interesting how the lights just went out. That's my portable lamp. But I do have the candlelight here. Let's see, can kind of see. Let's see if I can move this candle over so you can see like how the card looks a little bit at least. Oh my. Well, my apologies about that. I did not anticipate such an interaction. Let's pause it, shall we? Alrighty, this should do. How about it? Interesting enough, this card, I happened to pull this card over the weekend for a young gentleman, and I kept on saying the name Fiona. It was kind of loud in there, so I'm not sure if he heard me later correct myself, because the actual song was playing at the event that pictures this character, Felina, in the song El Paso, covered by the Grateful Dead. I'm not sure if that's a Marty Robbins. I'm not sure. It's like, I think it's kind of like a traditional kind of cowboy song anyway. Just a little FYI. That was quite a moment. I was like, I'm telling him this message, and I kept repeating Fiona, Fiona, Fiona. And then I was like, wait. I was like, do you hear it? Probably like, what? What is she trying to tell me? Anyway, so that's what's kind of fun about cards like these. If it's a topic or theme of interest to you, you might have some kind of specific messages that come out, and specifically as regards to music. So and the Knight of, Skulls in this deck, but the Knight of Swords, kind of known for being a brash character, a little bit reckless, potentially, coming to speak some truth. And I feel like that's what I just needed to do tonight, just trying to clear the air. The energy was feeling kind of dank, if you will. I don't know if it's, like spring is coming, and it's like you can just kind of feel it out there. Like there's definitely an overall change in the temperatura. Sometimes when you've learned other languages, like your brain thinks the word, but your mouth is like, what am I speaking? Is that like the tower? Is that how the Tower of Babel worked? Eight of Swords. Yeah, somebody up in their head. Yeah, I don't know why there's been some kind of icky kind of energy today in terms of that. Like, and maybe somebody is just like reflecting on what happened over the weekend, perhaps, and maybe they've just not had time to kind of like decompress or unwind. Or maybe like you're one of those people that like hangs out on Sundays, you know what I mean? And like maybe something happened on Sunday, and then it's like, wait, I'm still here on Monday. I'm trying to like take care of all my things, but yet at the same time I'm like stuck. And it's an emotional stuckness here too with some of this water. So, this might be something that you need to focus on clearing. My whole incense is about burned down. I waited to do that before I started it. I want to make sure it's nice and clear for you guys, So doing some like rituals like that. I've also been opening windows, getting some of that fresh air circulating, right? And getting rid of some of the stagnation. I feel like that's kind of an important message here that Spirit wants me to communicate to the collective. Again, this is just a collective reading. Please subscribe if you have not before, or like the video. Drop a comment if it resonates. 3 of Wands. So somebody could be moving, coming up soon. Maybe you have a lease coming up, or, say like in 3 months, like when summer hits, maybe you have some, specific travel plans here, because the wands are about traveling. This is like a weird, like he's like shouting it out into the abyss, but it's like, are the ships down here? Okay, right? Okay, so I gotta explain this on the card a little bit, what I'm getting. So it's like he's shouting out these directions, okay? And I'm saying he, it could be a she, like if you're a she, you know, I'm just, that's just what came out, okay? Anyway, so take that for what it's worth. Maybe this is a specific message for masculine. I don't know. Anyway, it's like, you know, the instruction. Well, maybe this is kind of relevant because, you know, they say men don't like to ask for directions. Okay. So it's like, these are the directions, like the map, you know, this is like how you go around, right? And to get to where you need to go. And it's like, is the message being received by these ships here? Because you can see there's 3 related ships. So it's like, well, are these things supposed to be traveling in the same direction? You know? And so I feel like this kind of planning might be important for you to focus on in the current state. And maybe for some of you that means just like, you know, getting your booking done, but like, you know, just having things reserved, right? So it doesn't come up to the last minute and you're like, oh my gosh, you know what I mean? Because, you know, even if you reserve something, like you can cancel it, you know, usually a lot of places will let you cancel like almost like the day before, like with no, you know what I mean? So, or you could get travel insurance, although I have gotten travel insurance myself before and they never paid me. That's one of those annoying things that I have to follow up on, you know what I mean? It's like, just give me my $400. You know, like what is the deal? All right. 6. Yeah. So making sure that things are going to benefit you and not just them. Like, you know, this insurance that I paid for, right? You know, it's like, well, that benefited them, but it didn't really benefit me when it came time, right? When it came time for my rose. When it came time for my rose, it was just like, oh, well, here's a picture of a rose. There you go. You know. So I also pulled this card over the weekend, so that's really where this came out. And I call this my ungrateful beggars card. 6 of Pentacles. You know, we always want to be in that happy space of giving and sharing with the people that we love. It's just sometimes that is not an actual true reflection. So just keep these like kind of little sunglasses in mind as you go forward. And like I told this young man that it was so funny, he had the 3 of Wands also. And you know, he told me he was planning on doing some traveling, but you know, like some serious traveling. And I just told him, I'm like, you know, it's like you're gonna meet lots of people along the way. Just like be cautious of the people that have their hand out a lot. You know what I mean? Like, you know, everybody wants to like be able to help that person back up, but you know, you only have two hands, 2 arms, 1 body. Okay, remember that. All right. Spirit, what do we have as an outcome for this collective, please? And we'll do some clarifiers here, I think. I was going to do a Celtic cross, but for some reason I just did this. I'm doing this 4 card spread, apparently. Yeah. Wow. Empress energy outcome. Bam. Who don't want that? Thanks. And it's 3 also, which reminds me of the 3 of Pentacles, which is like building a future together. Somebody wants to build a future with you, okay? So you may be this Empress. You may have an Empress in mind. Maybe this is your partner person, you know, maybe, you know, this could be somebody that you've been in separation from and that you are going to have to make some travel arrangements to get back to. So, you know, all right, let's keep going here. Let's clarify this 8 of Swords. I do personal readings, by the way. My contact email information is in the channel description box. Either that, or sometimes I provide the link information for my PayPal donation. So if you are sending something, to say that it's for a reading, like a request or something, that could work also. But those, otherwise, unless you personally know me to get my information, those are the only ways I'll have like my information, listed. 7 of Cups on this 8 of Swords. It's like, yeah. This is part of what's causing you confusion, is because there's so many options, right? And we all kind of go through this, and it's like, oh, well, what about this? And what if I didn't? Yeah, you know what I mean? And it's like there's so many permutations. Ask a mathematician. Okay. Sacred geometry may be important to you. Spirit, what else do we have on this 8 of Swords, please? I don't know why I heard leave Brittany alone. Okay, yeah. 8 of Cups. Maybe maybe you had a moment when you're like, dude, I'm about to frazzle out here. F everybody. I'm ready to get out of town, right? And go live off in the woods where nobody's going to friggin' bother me. That's kind of what the 8 of Cups is about. But it's, about soothing yourself, okay? And being guided by, the universe to embark on a journey maybe that is not as well forged, that is not as well lit, is, maybe you are the only one who has tried this, right? Somebody was the first to walk on the moon, right? Besides the aliens or whoever, right? Okay, so for my alien people out there. Oh shoot, man, I haven't seen a good episode of one of those things in a while, but it's just there's some people out there that can do some pretty cool things, but people I feel like have lost touch with some of the material world. In terms of that. And that's kind of part of what the 8 of Cups is about too. It's like being grateful for the things you have, just for the water of life, for the beauty of life here, these blooming roses, okay? Even for the fire that provides transformation. Like as I mentioned in a reading previously, I took this, thing of incense here and it's transformed into ash, okay? But in the process, something nice and fragrant came from that. I'm gonna actually see which one these are. I got these at one of the local ethnic grocery stores. This one's actually called Divine Power. It's kind of a nice, like, it's not too strong. Sometimes incense I feel like can be really overwhelming, but direct from Mumbai, India. A compelling incense that creates an all-prevailing aura of religiosity. Now, that's what some people might call tarot reading, right? Religiosity. Okay. Inhale deeply to purify the mind and spirit. Yeah, I was just trying to see if it actually said, like, a description else of specific what, like this other one I have here. Sorry to interrupt this reading for my, I grew up with incense, like, I was born in the 70s, folks, so, the Gen Xers' parents used a lot of incense back in the day. Hey, we didn't have Glade plugins, okay? We didn't have that. No. Now this one's jasmine though. But yeah, a box of this, and then there's like how many of these inside, right? So like you get quite a lot. And that was just like one of those containers that I saw earlier. And these are not super expensive. So do yourself a favor and support your local grocers, okay? Especially small grocers, because they're carrying those hard to find things. Things that sometimes people have to travel great distances to get, okay? Like, think of the spice trade that in literally India, okay? That's a real thing, okay? So, Spirit wants you to know, yes, there is a great big world out there. Do not limit yourself by the ties or talk or limits of other people. It's like, wait a second, which one of these is you? It's like, you're this rose here. So why, it's like, okay, so you're just gonna have to, one at a time, right? One at a time. Or you might be one of those people that's just like, right? Done. Out, right? That's the yucky energy, the Five of Swords. Pulled that card over the weekend too. See, it's funny when this happens. Like I end up pulling several of the same cards through a set of readings, and then, so it's really interesting to me that I ended up doing that during personal readings. And I actually this one young man came up to get a one card reading, and the card I pulled was the Five of Swords. I was like, oh my gosh. It's like, I pulled an oracle card for him too. Also, this came out over the weekend too, the Three of Swords. So you got Three of Wands and you got Three of Swords. You could have up to 3 different people wanting to communicate with you. Or, kind of like a trip with... This could even be like a girls' trip or something with some girlfriends there and be like, you know what, we're getting out of town. We're going to turn into our healing energy here. We're done shouting out directions. We're just going to gather and we're going to dip in. You could have recently gone on a girls' trip. I mean, this is current though, so I feel like this is like in the planning stages for somebody. Oh boy, Capricorn. 15. I feel like this planning is not necessarily going very well for somebody, in the sense of maybe you're in a new relationship and somebody's like, well, where are you going? Like, why do you want to leave me? Well, what do you mean? I'm not leaving you. I'm going on a weekend with some girlfriend. You know what I mean? Like, So, this could be part of what's had you kept in this bind, right? Like, for some reason, it's stressing you out. And you're ready to like cut loose, and you're ready to move forward towards give and take relationships, right? That have an outcome of you being able to journey how, when, and where you want, okay? As your own free spirit here, okay? It's kind of weird that this rainbow is inverted, where the red's on the inside. So I feel like for some of you, just coming up ahead, you could quite possibly run into, like, say, a soulmate, somebody that shares this in the positive way that it's supposed to be, okay? And I'll say that this combination coming out is one of my most positive readings of this card that I've ever pulled. And if you've watched my readings, you know I don't read this card very positively very often, but that's where the spin is at here. Okay. And no, this is not the O'Reilly no spin. Remember that? Jeez. Some people start out... And see, I feel like that's kind of with this Six of Pentacles here. It's like, sometimes it becomes like, You know, it's like, I'm not here to worship you either. So on some of the Six of Pentacles card, like traditionally, it's like there's somebody standing, and then there's these people like at their feet, you know, and it's like, yeah, and they're handing out, you know, bestowing their gifts. Well, yeah, you may be bestowing your gifts upon people, but, you know, you're not doing it in a way of like, yes, because I want everyone to worship me, you know, or like, you know, like the mobsters in the neighborhood, like, you know, well, I'll help take care of the poor people so they don't care if I, you know, is that how it goes, like in the movies, right? So they let me run through the neighborhood and do what I want a little bit, you know, kind of thing. Anyway, let's see what else we got here, Spirit, on this Six of Pentacles, before I just keep rambling on. Without clarifying the message, yeah. Yeah, it's like the betrayals, like things like that. It's just, so weird. I was just talking about this card, and out comes freaking Five of Swords. And I even looked it up before this. Now, this is a different book. But here it says, selfishness, tension, betrayal, entitlement. You know, I had a young man. I was at some music over the weekend, and somebody kind of grabbed my jaw, like, you know, and I was like, kind of, you know, it's like, excuse me. It's like, we're not even really acquaintances here. You can't just, you don't, it's, I'm not a flower to be plucked for your pleasure, right? Okay. Oh, Lord have mercy. So, yeah, I feel like if you are the one who's setting these boundaries, and now it's going to finally tie in, because I also did another reading over the weekend, and I felt like this was really kind of important, kind of to bring up, you know, in terms of like safety zone and things like that. You know, sometimes, you know, this obsession becomes so much from somebody that it's like, you know, you might have to block somebody. You might have to get an order of protection or a restraining order, however it's, you know, considered in your state. So, and that is not always, you know, a man or a woman. You know, it could be either. You know what I mean? So, again, moving forward, just being, you know, focusing on what fulfills you, not what ails you, okay? Because in the end, when you look at it overall, right, from this viewpoint, really, these are kind of smaller problems, right? Like that man thinking that he could just kind of like manhandle me. Well, you know, I don't know about any other women out there. Not the first time this has happened. I just kind of like, you know what I mean? And then that was over. You know, come at me again though, and then, right, okay. Yeah, I also carry pepper spray, so. Alrighty. I've also been beaten up by somebody like quite larger than me, so you don't scare me. Okay, just saying. All right. Yeah, the nine of swords just flipped over. Somebody wants you to be worried about this. I don't know why. It's just like, it's effed up. Okay. Queen of Pentacles. Yeah. You're like, I'm about my business. I'm about my abundance. I'm about looking good, feeling good, smelling good, taking care of my little animals here on the prairie. Okay? You got a problem with it? Get on stepping. Get on stepping. And I don't care where you step, right? It ain't gonna be on me. Don't murder me. I beg of you, don't murder me. Oh, don't murder me. Venerio. Where am I at on the clock here? 24:35. Okay. You could have met that person in that age range as well, between 24 and 35. I mean, that's a pretty popular age range, though. So, yeah. Anyway, take what resonates, what does not. I mean, this is kind of a weird message. Now, look at this. Here's another 8 for you. 8 of Pentacles. See, you are turning things around and out and away. See, Queen of Pentacles has her little castle back here, Mother Hubbard in a shoe, right? With her, all her little animals in there, right? And they even got time to just kind of like chill out here on this sunny day. So, as our seasons change, right? That abundance is going to start flowing. And you're going to be able to make something of it, okay? That's like putting it to the paper, okay? For some of you, this could be, telling your story, whatever story that is. Again, here's another little like 3 in the corner. To me, yeah, and there's another 3. Here's another 1, 2, 3. I think I mentioned 3 of Pentacles energy earlier. Anyway, that's still coming, yeah, with the, well, yeah, I mentioned it with the Empress card, with the Trinity. So, Amethyst, Crown Chakra. So I think Amethyst is also been used for Heart Chakra also. I am not an expert on, all the different crystals with, as it relates. I have some notes and stuff. I should kind of make like a chart out. Let's do one more clarifier, please, on this Empress for the collective. Please, Spirit. As we gratefully accept this message, right? And a message it is with the page coming out. Pages are all about messages. But this is a message about, you guessed it, abundance. Pentacles. Pentacles. And you're like, okay, yeah, I'm over here tallying up my Pentacles, right? Now I'm going to add one more, right? I got room in this shoe for one more. I mean, you got this whole big property here, too. Come on now, right? Maybe this is going to be a message about a gathering for some of you. And it could be like a retreat, something too, like something where you're able to like get into journaling. Okay. All right. Whew, yeah, talk about a whole new chapter, right? Can we close out of that, right? That yuck energy that started at the beginning and move into something where it's like, where you're swimming in this sea of possibilities, but it's like, you don't have to go necessarily from cup to cup to cup to cup, right? Like, it's just part of the flow of life where you are, okay? And nobody is controlling you saying, well, hey, you're sitting in my cup, so I'm taking you with me, right? That's this energy here, right? That's, hey, you can't let go, you're attached. But really, they can let go. See, they're just like, that's not around their wrist. The figures are hanging on to that chain, okay? So that song, the chain keeps us together, run with the shadows. So if you haven't done your shadow work yet, this might be a good opportunity to start in on it. Especially if you're some karmic cross watcher watching this video right now. How about it? Oh, yeah. Okay, so. Because here's the thing. If you don't address it, this is going to continue. This is going to continue. Do you understand? Like, wow. Okay, I'm glad this is coming out. Because this was kind of the message before I started, right before I started the video. It's just, you know, we all grow mature, right? And, you know, at a certain point, you have to draw that line and say, okay, this person is either going to mature, right? And be able to step into this outcome as you are here, collective, right? Or this person needs to be led, but like in a way where they're just choosing to be blind. Okay? Because in reality, they know better. Right? You know, like after, you know, I get it, like people live longer these days, you know, and people delay certain things, but you know, mid 30s into 40, like if you don't kind of have something, you know, together in your like a plan, like again, that's you know, you are going to be the one, collective, then, who decides is what kind of relationship am I going to have with a person like that, okay? Is it going to be the true abundance I seek, or will it be a mirage, okay? And I think that's really the message that I needed to put forth today. That kind of came through in somebody else's reading over the weekend. So I feel like that might be part of this confusing energy that's come through. But there's, and also, you know, the number 8 here, you have 3 8s actually. 8 also the symbol, you know, following the symbol for infinity. Okay. I'm gonna try and get a light worker here. And how much time do I have left? So, collective, if you enjoyed this message, please like, subscribe, share this message with somebody you may resonate with. Just as I was like not gonna call out the signs, like Virgo, Taurus, Capricorn is, you know, kind of Queen of Pentacles energy. So Capricorn, this could, you know, be, you could be Capricorn here too. You know, I feel like Capricorns kind of get the bad rap because, you know, they have the devil card here with the wolf. But you know, that's just what I was getting, and we all go through things like that. You know, especially things that keep us kind of tied up in our heads and like, you know, and here's the thing too, is like, you can see like, you, after a while, your bandage gets like worn, right? And then you have to take it off, right? Sometimes you have to let that wound breathe, and, you know, and you might be like, oh my God, well, it's going to look scary to people if I take that off. And then people see my scars, right? But if you don't take that off, you're not going to get that fresh air, right? Like I was saying before, how I had the windows open, you know what I mean? To like kind of circulate.